Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'd say, yeah, the computational science is a branch, is a part. Other questions, comments, outrage, indignation?
Thank you for talking about the importance of mathematics to our students
That's right.
here. Some of them are
You
in
want
my
to sign as a
classes.
math major? Get the forms right over. Yeah. Well, since there's no question, we'll keep talking for another 5 minutes and we can all go. I think that mathematics has really exploded in the past 150 years or so. And I think it changes, the way we should think about mathematics and liberal education. I think, I was talking about mathematics as a liberal art. Mathematics is also a general instrumental art. It's a powerful tool for everybody. So even if in order to become wise in one sense, you don't need mathematics. In order to become powerful, probably you do need mathematics. So it's not like, well, you take your one math course and get rid of the core requirements and then sigh of relief, I never have to do that again. I think you should, the more math you learn, the better off you're going to be. But I'm still interested in, is there some connection between mathematics and wisdom? And what is it? And it's hard for me to, I mean, the reason I have these 4 things is because all of them seem in a certain way plausible. I think, yes, you need to know math. Then I think, then the other part of me says, yeah, math and wisdom. You know, has anybody ever really said, I never would have done that foolish thing if only I had known that regular Hausdorff spaces on separate countable bases are advisable? I don't think so. No, it's like, it's not gonna, right? But on the other, then, so as soon as I said that, on the other hand, I think, yeah, but how much effort is spent by, where sort of the logical equivalent of people are trying to square the circle. This is, it's demonstrably impossible to do this in a certain sense. And I think lots of people are, if they had a better sense of logical relations and were more agile at manipulating those things, their lives would be better. They wouldn't be trying to do impossible things. My father, years ago, was on a search committee, and he would come back from this committee meeting, this was in a church, and he would sputter about these people on the committee saying, they want a 25-year-old with 30 years of experience. And he could never get it. And I think there's something about that, you know? If you just could put what you said 5 minutes ago together with what you're saying now and see that they're inconsistent, maybe we wouldn't have to suffer so much.
One of the things you didn't touch on this, but I know that at least among the ancient Hebrews and the Greeks, and even those Greeks dealing with the Christian Greeks, there was this connection between their sense of mathematics and geometry and language itself, because of the Hebrew characters and the Greek characters themselves, and the language also represented number, with which they could do things. And that kind of thing doesn't seem to be around anymore at all. But that would appear to be some kind of, there is a connection between language and our expression of it and mathematics, which means that if you only know one but not the other, you're missing something critical.
There's a 19th century philosopher and educator in England, William Whewell, known for a number of things, but he was at Cambridge or Oxbridge. And as I understand the history, earlier, the Oxford universities were required by statute, by law, to teach logic. And they said, oh, that learning math is teaching logic, so we can train people in math, and that will count for the logic requirement. But then by the early 19th century, this is in England, the continental mathematicians who used analytic methods as opposed to the Newtonian methods that the English mathematicians used, which were synthetic, Euclidean, the continental mathematicians were getting ahead. So there's a question about what math should we teach? Should we teach this analytic stuff, or should we analysis, or should we teach good old Euclid, right? Euclid, first 6 books. And Whewell talking about liberal education, says that human beings have 2 natural powers, of speech and of reason. And the point of liberal education is to turn those natural capacities into effective powers. And the study of language is one of those, and the study of mathematics is the thing that turns the capacity for reasoning into the power of reasoning. But he then made a clear distinction between the Euclidean mathematics, which did train the powers of reasoning, from these more symbolic methods, which are means you use symbols not to trace the course of thinking, but to avoid the necessity of thinking. Your symbol manipulation does your thinking for you. Right? That's why it's powerful. That's why it's not part of liberal education. So Whewell wanted to have the liberal arts part of this do one kind of math, and the pre-professional training part do another kind of math. So I think there's connections here. It's 4 o'clock.
And so you're not quite sure the answer of the relation of math and wisdom and our moral concerns, so you're not quite sure how mathematics will deal with the war on terror, which is our next topic in the series. But we can think
We'll
about
have to, 2 weeks we'll find out.
Thanks, Ron. So we hope we'll see you in 2 weeks, Hathaway, for a very